Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time. It is Friday. What day is it? The 12th of November. And we have our friend Stephen Dow from Velocity Mortgage. How you doing, sir?
I'm fantastic. And yourself?
I'm doing great. Do me a favor, do that marketing spiel, and we will get into topic number 2.
You got it. And again, although I work happily for Velocity Mortgage Capital, all the topics and ideas discussed on this channel are that of my own. And let's get it going.
So, folks, as I mentioned kind of at the end of episode number 1, episode number 2 is we're going to give feedback from a one rental at a time student. Again, what are they going to say?
Well, I talked to a lot of people, and I'm not going to say that some people liked my answers to everything because I can't say yes to everything. So let's just hope that it wasn't one of those calls. Because
again, I've been in sales my entire life, right? I like quick answers, quick yes, quick no. And I've been very clear with everybody on the plate. You have a whole playlist on my channel, right? You can't say yes to everything. Owner occ, new construction, too small. I mean, too small cities. Hey man, if it doesn't work, say no. And if they get upset, that's okay. No is an acceptable answer. I hate maybe. Freaking maybes drive me crazy.
Right. No, I don't play that game because nobody gets paid on maybes. Nobody saves money on maybes. Nobody gets a report on maybe. It's just a limbo. This is called limbo.
Yeah, so that's funny. Now that I'm gonna read this deal probably would have been a maybe for most places, and you got it done. So I'm gonna read it start to finish. This is from Courtney. I won't say the last name, but here we go. And she put this in the private Facebook group. I think yesterday is when I saw it.
Oh wow, okay.
So Stephen Dow and Velocity Mortgage are incredible. I am still bankable, which I take as she could get 30 in money. So that's cool. Yep. So normally that would mean she would go to Matt, the mortgage guy.
Right.
But here's the but. But I paid cash for a property and I wanted to refinance quickly. Yep, Matt's out. Banks want you to own the property for 6 months. Yep. And other non-QM lenders want you to hold it for 3 months. Yep. My deal was complex. Oh, okay. I converted. Here we go. I converted a 3-1 to a 4-2. Steve was professional every step of the way, and his rates are very competitive. I will use him again, and I highly recommend him and Velocity Mortgage. So,
thanks, Courtney.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, thanks, Courtney. So I'm going to guess, based on the way that this was written, that the 3-1 conversion to a 4-2 may not have been
permitted.
Yeah, may not have gone through the city.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, from a cash flow standpoint, 100%, I would have done the same thing probably. What I mean? Yeah. Well, maybe not now, not knowing what I and my resources, this and that. I probably changed differently because I just know the bigger picture is easier that way. But long story short, for the time being, it made more sense for her for the cash flow.
Yeah.
And so now, with the type of setup, it allowed her to tap into the equity faster.
Yeah.
With less kind of headache, and pretty sure that property would not have been able to go bankable. She can as an individual, but the property type would not have been. Yeah,
probably not.
So that was the main thing. So speed, effectiveness, and competitive rates. And it was
so I know nothing about this deal, but I've been doing this a long time.
Yeah.
How do I want to attack this? So again, because she's back, let's just assume this was her first, second, third property, right? So she buys. I don't even know what the numbers were. Let's just say, because I like round numbers, she bought it for $100,000. She put 50 in, and she thought it was going to be worth 200. Again, I don't know what.
Something like that. Yep. Something roughly like that. You're pretty close.
That's funny.
You're pretty close, but she got better actually.
Okay.
So came back even better than what she expected.
That's cool. So So she buys it at a 3-1, bingo bango, 90 days later, whatever it is, it's now a 4-2, which just means she added a master suite. At least that's how I read this. And she's going back to tap that because she wants to do it again, right? The whole BRRRR strategy or whatnot. And so she comes in. So a normal bank, right? A normal bank. Let's just assume it was 6 months later or 9 months later or a year later. A bank's going to come in, look at, 1412 Main Street or whatever it is. And they're going to see on the county records it's a 3-1. The appraiser is going to come through and probably document it's a 4-2. And then the conversations start, right? What is it? How it happened? Non-permitted.
Sure.
Done recently, because again, they're going to be able to go back to the last transaction and see that it was a 3-1.
Right.
that could have created a lot of hair on it, even if it's a year later.
Right.
So I think you're right. I think that property is probably, while she is bankable, which means less than 10, I'm not sure that property would have been bankable. The other thing that may have happened is occasionally what happens in situations like this is there is an adjustment to bring it back to, I think they call it something.
Cost to cure.
Oh, that's the sexy term, cost to cure. I remember doing that time and time again a decade ago. What's it going to take to bring this back? Because I remember buying, 3 2s that were really 2 1s and all of these things. And we actually had to demo a couple of them, right? They were done horribly.
Right. Well, that's what I was going to say. Typically, from our standpoint, again, as a make sense lender, not so cookie cutter or rigid as conventional is or bankable loans, we looked at it from the standpoint of, are there enough comps to support the higher value? And the workmanship, was it done in a workman-like manner?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't we try to break it up? It's cash flow even higher. Now, if it was like Mickey Mouse together and you've got like duct tape and like, you know what I'm saying? The hose is running over here. That's a shower. No, we're going to have to kind of. Yeah.
I love how you said that. The make sense lender. Because again, you can inspect a master suite, right? That was the addition. And I bought stuff where I remember buying this one place that used to be a screened in porch, right? In the back of the house. And all they did was add some 2x4s and tried to drywall it in, didn't insulate it. The electrical wires were running like a tube on the roof. I'm like, no, we're done. We're out.
Long time. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I've seen everything, and then like, nope, never seen that.
Rip that. No, it's not only we won't lend on it, but you got to rip that stuff out. I mean, that stuff's got to go, right?
Right.
Again, I guess the story with this is, first and foremost, thank you for taking care of Courtney. I love seeing feedback because, again, a lot of people come to me to get on the channel, and I say no to lots of people. So I'm glad that I picked a good one, Steve. So thanks for doing that. Again, you can't do everything. Keep saying no. Again, I expect you to give fast answers, yes or no. I hate maybe.
No, this was had better compensating factors in the fact that with Courtney and her rehab crew. Shout out to her husband. Great work. Yeah. So
it's a husband-wife team. I didn't know that.
Yeah, kind of like you guys a little bit. So when one.
No, let's be clear. I wasn't getting any calluses on my hand. I wasn't swinging no hammers.
Okay, well then
Good for them. Yeah. Good for them. Well, that was cool.
It worked out.
Yeah, that was good. Again, sometimes it's not all about rate and fees, right? She could, if you didn't help her out, come through for it. I think best case, she has to sit on it for 6 months.
Right. That was going to be the case. Longer time frame.
Which really slows things down.
Right. What other kind of hoops or issues you'd have to jump through for conventional. So it's just.
How long did she own it? Because it sounds like it was less than 3 months.
Yeah, it wasn't that long. She just got it.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't that long. Yeah. So we were able to do it. She was able to here's the other part. Great paper trail. Right. If you're going to do the rehab on your own, which most of these people are doing, and most of your listeners, that's fine. Just good, before and after
document.
Pictures.
Yeah.
Right. Chronicle it. So then now, from a lender standpoint, if we're going to jump in, even though you've owned it less for
we can see what you've done. Yeah.
We want to feel a little bit more comfortable. Like, did they really do this work, or everything now painted over? I did, full copper plumbing. How would I know unless I broke up your walls? You know what I mean? So exactly. You got pictures. Here's my paid invoice. Here's the the licensed contractor that I paid to install it. Yada yada yada. So great paper trail allows us that nice warm tingly feeling. Okay, we'll pull the trigger on that higher value because it's supported, and I can see that you pretty much did the work. And why would I not want to jump into this when you got so much skin in the game? So
So would you? So I'm going to call this a BRRRR project for them. I don't know if they would call it that.
Oh yeah, it was definitely a BRRRR. They bought it for cheap. You used to see how it looked before. That's what I'm saying. The great work. That's why when they chronicled it, we said, okay, the value's there. We don't like that instant value where, I got it for a quote unquote a deal for cheap, and then overnight you're now calling it this. It's like not from a lender standpoint, but if you really put in the elbow grease and the blood, sweat, and tears and the money, and you chronicled it, and we got enough supporting value, let's make it go. Yeah.
So what I wanted to tell people again in one rental at a time community, lots of you are looking at BRRRR. There's a lot of risk in that, right? I talk about BRRRR twice in my new book, 15 Conversations with Millionaires, but it can work. But you've got to think about the exit. And in this case, they would have been stuck if it wasn't for Velocity Mortgage, right?
Right.
So thank you for doing that. That's awesome. How can people reach out to you if they want to talk to you about their BRRRR projects?
Again, email me at SDAO at velocitymortgage.com. I believe it appears down below us.
It does.
My page is left for that, so check it out. And then please leave the acronym ORAAT, just that in the subject line, so that it'll make it past the firewall. And please just leave the best phone number I can reach you back at. It's a lot easier for me to make a phone call versus a bunch of emails back and forth. If you want to put some of the details in the body of the email that we want to discuss for a quick question, then I can call you back on. That'll help as well versus just call me. That's always, kind of like, well, what are we talking about? So maybe just a quick outline of what you're looking for specifically, so then I'll know how to tailor the conversation. So I don't just call you back and just, ramble on, just, information that's true, but may not be relevant to your situation. So that's the best, just the phone number. Yeah.
Very cool, folks. Again, SDAO at velocitymortgage.com. DAO is DAO. Thanks, buddy.
Thank you.